everybody, we're here at JStylz Barber Shop in Dover, and we're going to be talking about the topic today, what's wrong with religion and how we feel about that. Alright, so first of all, I'm Native American, I'm Nanticoke Indian. I come from an indigenous background, and religion for some people may have positive connotations, but for other groups of people, religion has very negative connotations. For us as Native Americans, the Christians came over here from Europe wearing crosses, and they committed genocide against us and killed just about all of us. Raped our women, sent our children in boarding schools, and practiced that type of religion for 300-400 years before it ever began to change. And so, from a very initial perspective, religion is just something that can have a very bittersweet taste in the mouth when it comes to people from different ethnic groups. All right, so Jay, when I say religion, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
I mean, it's more like what you brought up on. Like, some people think religion is more like what you believe in as far as something, or a way of life. It could be different stuff, but like how I was brought up, it's like almost like a law in a way. Like, religion is not really a belief, it's what you taught and what you're supposed to believe in, and how you brought up as far as church and spirituality and stuff.
So almost like something that was made up to control you.
Yeah, in a way to almost, I don't want to say complete brainwash, somewhat like that. Like, I don't want to say brainwash because I don't want to, make it seem like I'm being brainwashed, but it's like more of an influence on your mind.
Yeah. Well, to kind of piggyback off of that, one of the things I just recently did in my life is I stopped calling myself a Christian. And of course, when I tell Christians that, they automatically say, well, what do you mean you're not a Christian? And of course, I say I believe in Jesus, I believe in all the teachings, I follow Jesus, I just don't call myself a Christian. So it's kind of like that brainwash where, you mean I can't follow Jesus unless I obey your religion?
Yeah.
And the idea that the Christian religion has its roots in Jesus is actually not even true. Because the people who follow Jesus call themselves followers of the way. They never call themselves Christians.
Right.
So there's not even, I always say this to those Bible scholars out there and those theologians, you've been doing this work for a long time, and you've never corrected the falsehood in the church that the word Christian is a correct term when you're describing people who follow Jesus. And actually, that's not found anywhere in Scripture. Jesus didn't teach it, and none of his immediate followers taught it. And yet here we are in 2017 following a religious teaching that has no roots in the person that's supposed to be the head of the religion, which would be Jesus. And hence, then we end up with, for example, you got to put on the suit and the tie and go sit in a church service and act a certain way. And all of that comes from, colonialism and oppression towards ethnic groups of people and indigenous groups across this country, really across the world, to make us act like them. When the truth is, like, I can be a believer in Jesus and still be a Native American and wear feathers and do whatever I want, or be African or be from another country. I don't have to change who I am or my ethnicity or my culture to follow Jesus. And yet religion takes Jesus, I believe, captive, and then uses it to manipulate us and control us and make us be whatever the system or the institution wants us to be.
As far as Christianity is concerned, there's a lot of things that become manipulative, that become controlling. So you have to understand your relationship with God, first of all. If you're really committed to a covenant or relationship with God. There's a stigma that makes people think that if you're not a certain way, if you don't look a certain way, if you don't do things a certain way, then you can't have a relationship with God.
That's what I was just talking to somebody the other day about that. Like, you got some places, some churches that if you don't, like they say saved, being saved, like, I guess if you don't get saved under their house and this and that, they don't consider you saved. They off the break judging you, saying you can come in a church and be like, and you can feel like you living a good life, you're saved and everything, and feel this way, But off the break, just because you just came as a visitor and this and that, they automatically judge you by how you might be dressed at this point, or how you walk in, or who you with. Like, they like, automatically think that you're not saved. Like, that's the kind of part that they treat the guests and visitors like crap. But you got people in the church that's sleeping with each other, wives and husbands, and doing whatnot, but they're getting praised and singing on the choirs, leading choirs and leading praise and worship and all this and that. But people that have regular, normal problems through life, they bash and degrade and everything.
Well, good. You got it.
So one thing about religion, so I got to try to start off and make it sound deep because you got an accent. One thing about religion. But see, here's my issue. We're all humans, number one.
Yeah.
Just because people are in church, just because people are wherever, they're people, period. And my thing is, with religion, it's the same thing as politics. It's to divide and to control. Even before, because here's my thing with the whole Bible. God didn't send the fax machine down. It's all what man wrote.
And what they want us
And
to
with,
believe.
it's stories. Whether it's metaphorically stories or whether it's their actual events. That's neither here or there. You have to actually read behind. That's where it comes into religion and spirituality, because you have to read behind what it's saying.
Absolutely.
Meaning, if it talks about whatsoever man thinks in his heart, so is he. I don't care what you're wearing. Man is inwardly expressed, but his belief inwardly expressed, so it comes out. So whatever you believe is going to come out. I don't care about Christianity. I really don't care about Judaism. I'm not Jewish, so it's hard for me to follow Jewish customs because I'm not Jewish.
Right.
That's just like being from Africa, but we're eating European food or food over here. Reason why we have so many health problems is because it doesn't fit. It doesn't belong.
It's not part of our
It's
culture.
not part of your culture.
It's not our diet from what we
Right.
have to be, like our skin complexions and everything.
So it's spiritual.
It's a certain
It
diet.
has to fit. So spirituality is whether you're from Europe, whether you're from Africa. Man is made up of a spirit, one spirit. It runs through everything. Whether it's energy, whether it's the same electricity can either give you light or it can kill you.
Right.
Hate and love are the same thing. It's just going in opposite directions. Reason why a lot of people have a lot of problems, health problems, is because what's inside. Meaning, I can say I can judge church people, but I'm still judging.
Yep.
So how can I talk about church people, but I have that inside? That's the reason why we're so sick all the time. Is because negative thoughts have to have a negative outlet. You see what I'm saying? So if we just worry about being spiritual and taking off titles, it's just like people who say, I'll be like, how you doing, Pastor Mark? You'd be like, yo, I'm Mark. Because you're not really, that's who you are.
Right.
But if you're concerned about your title, then therefore you're judgmental.
Absolutely.
It seems like religion nowadays is more. It's not more of a spiritual thing or this and that. It's more of a race, like because
It's a gang.
before religion and stuff, you have churches, and back in the day, all the churches are like. They all feel like you're crazy and this and that, or they real spiritual. And you got older people that's one way and that's it. They believe skirts and this and that, blah blah blah. That's it. But nowadays, it's like each church, you can have 4 or 5 different Pentecostal churches, but everyone have different doctrines, have different beliefs. One believe in this and that. It's more of a race and what you want your race and your people
gang.
to believe in this and that. You go by this, like they pick and choose. Which they all read from one book, but they pick and choose what they want to gear heavy towards as far as what part of that book they want to more of go on and teach on.
Here's one thing I have to say. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
One thing I have to say that I gotta run real quick. Really, God is just like a rainbow. I'm gonna tell you why. Scientifically, each person, we might see a rainbow, but I see the rainbow differently than you see it.
Yeah.
We cannot see and view the same rainbow at the same time, the same way. Meaning because of the prisms. And they what I'm saying is that my view on God is not your view on God. I don't care how much you talk to me on Sunday and tell me in a book. It's not going to be, because I'm not with you 365, 24/7. So you're telling me about something that if a person has a personal relationship with God, then that's why people like minor things they talking about cussing. Joyce Meyer said when she went to Australia and they said that she preached a kick-ass message, the pastor said that. she said it took her back. But then, what people call sin over here is not a sin somewhere else.
Absolutely.
So to get behind or like
Same way
drinking,
we call it sin,
it's not even a sin. A sin, it doesn't mean that. It's just like repentance. You have to turn your heart to be a better person. Sorry. To be a better
I just
person.
believe God is bigger than that. I believe my parents had, my parents had 11 kids.
Yeah.
So all of my parents, their attention and their conversations, each kid was different.
Yep.
They knew which one they could be hard on. They knew which one they had to talk a little softer to. They knew which one they had to, kind of convince them to do certain things. They knew which ones they could just drop the hammer on, because they knew each kid as an individual. If my parents can do that, I feel like God can do the same thing.
Yeah.
God knows each and every one of us. He knows our heart. He knows how to relate to us the way that we need to be related to.
Yeah.
Not that there's, a difference between what sin is and what sin is not, but there is a difference in how
we
he
don't
relates
have
to
a
us.
closed-minded God.
Right,
Yeah.
right. He understands our heart. He understands what direction we're going, and not understand our heart in the sense of like go do whatever you want to do. It's understand your heart in the sense of He knows how to relate to us. So I believe that far as your connection with a relationship with God. Religion is nothing but the idea of what somebody thinks you ought to do to please God.
Yep.
But your pleasing God is not somebody else's pleasing God. It's just not the same. David was a man after God's own heart, but David was a murderer. David was a whoremonger. David was, all kinds of stuff. And you could look at him and just be like, well, if that's a man after God's own heart, then what the heck are we doing?
Are we supposed to be
Yeah,
that?
are we supposed to be
Murderers
that?
and stuff? Like,
But it was because he had a relationship with
he
God.
had a relationship. And that's what it all is. Like, people make it seem like if you don't just go to the actual place as far as church every Sunday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, every week, that your relationship is less than the person that is going. And at the end of the day, like, they wonder why people get blessed in different ways, and it's not because mentally and emotionally and physically they're with God. Their focus is God. Like, just because I couldn't make it to a service on a Sunday or I miss a week, that don't mean I'm less close to God. That just means something in my life happened. I couldn't make it, and then like that's what the problem with a lot of people nowadays. They're more on the fashion of church and more on like just the appearance and how you look on the outside than more focused on the inside. Like somebody, you don't know what different people have going on in their lives and stuff, and different things that they got going on. They might just can't make it and do this and do that. A lot of people don't have the funds to go to the store and buy the clothes that you may want somebody to wear at church. Church seems like more like school and stuff. Like it's almost like you might as well give them a uniform. You might as well at the beginning of this year give them the rules, like because that's how they orchestrate it. It's more like a business, more than a business than a place of fellowship. Because really, the temple is just a place of fellowship that we all people that believe in the one same thing. We all supposed to come and just pretty much fellowship together.
I'm gonna ask y'all this kind of simple question, but so can you be a believer in Jesus and not be a Christian?
I believe so.
I mean, that's just
You not be title yourself as a Christian.
right. That's just a title.
Because I mean, I believe.
Hey guys, if you enjoyed this video, hit the subscribe button, drop a comment, give us some feedback, shoot us some other ideas of videos you would like to see in the future. So get out there and join the movement, and do it today.